I know a lot of people are expecting me to talk about this, but I'll be talking about it on the other side of the show, somehow towards the end. Let's talk politics first. But the front page of the Guardian newspaper, I want to talk about investors want more slice of 13.76 trillion naira pension as sitting stocks. Only 7% of pension invested in equities. Adonri says market too risky, volatile for pension fund investment. Worries over government borrowing from funds despite growing default rate. PFAs invest 74.54 billion naira in infrastructure. CBN eyes funds for InfraCap. Terrorist gives Zamfara government 14 days to pay 30 million naira for killing wife and 2 others. That's a bold one. That's a really bold one. Lagos APC advisory body approved second term bid for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu a Deve endorsement. PDP tells the Yoruba Union. Ronaldo partner announced the death of their baby boy. Very sad. Buhari's critiques are responsible for division in Nigeria. Additional replies Kuka. Pardoning corrupt persons impairs existence of anti-graft agencies, says Wike. Nigeria bankrupt or blessed without new constitution, says Afe Babalala. Course seeks all of society approach to curb insecurity as the chief of army staff. And you have a $418 million Paris Club loan refund. States want the federal government not to tamper with their funds. We've not left ABC, says Yari's faction. Abdulaziz Yari yesterday in the papers was said to have crossed over, like jumped defense. Defense between them is not high. It's just small gutter that is between them. It's just APC and PDP, one on this side of the drainage, the other gutter. It's not drainage. One on this side of the gutter, the other one on the other side. It just jumped. But as people said, it did not go. They said they are still in APC. They did not go. But that's not my topic for this morning. I want to talk about former Plateau State Governor and Taraba State Governor who were magnanimously pardoned by the Council of State last week. Corruption trial, jailed for 14 years. Joshua Dariye was pardoned between 2018 and 2022. That's about cumulatively, let's say you served 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. So give or take, let's say you served about 6 of the 14 years. What do you think? Good move, bad move?
Well,
which one?
There are two sides of the coin to this. One, we all know that when it comes to things like this is not the first time we hear that the council, give pardons to people, but from time immemorial, if I remember, if my memory serves me well, what I know about pardoning, maybe there are some political prisoners, some conscience prisoners, some as different people that somehow are in prisons, and the council comes to say no. Okay, we have looked at this. Oh, this person, he has he's forgiven, or the different reason why he shouldn't be there. Oh, the age, like they claim this time. Fine, that.
No, they said his health. They said he's been sick.
Age and health. Yes.
One was sick because his father was killed by.
But I think maybe now this is the first time I'm seeing a government that ruled on a campaign of fighting corruption. Now, this government is here. Now it got the office. Then decided to, with this, I will call it the governors forum, because you had more governors in that council.
The Council of State.
And these people are their colleagues.
So when we say Council of State here, Olanka, I need you to clarify.
Okay.
What constitutes our Council of State?
The president, the vice president, because the president is the chairman, the vice president is the vice chairman of that council, then all former head of states, there, the part of the council, all governors
currently
serving.
36 state governors
currently serving.
Okay.
The Attorney General, the Minister of Justice, and Attorney General, and Minister one person, Minister of Justice, and like that. Again, I'm trying to remember the people that also that are part of this council.
But I think we have a good number because the past head of state.
Basically, those are the people.
So we're talking about Jonathan. We're talking about Obasanjo. We're talking about Sambo and the rest of them.
And in this regard, you find out that if you look at the former presidents now, how many are they compared to the number of governors?
Okay, so you're looking at 4 people.
Then compared to the number of governors. Okay, so even if those 4 are saying no, and if they had to go by vote, you have their colleagues that are saying yes. But now the question we're asking, so if you can pardon corrupt politicians, people who
was jailed for stealing
2
billion naira,
like that. So if you could give them pardon, so what happened to the petty thieves? What happened to those people that are even in prison? I remember, well, we have not seen the list because we're told that it's about 159, people. Yeah, they've only told us about a few of them. Now, I remember back then in 2006, 7, thereabouts, if I remember, when former President Olusegun Obasanjo was there. Yes, we were. Then I was with the Legal Aid Council, and I remember we were told to put up a list of people. We visit the prisons. Yeah. We meet inmates. We interrogate. Interview them, and we know some of them, they have no business in the prison. Some of them may just be fined of 3,000 and they be in prison for 3 years. Some of them may be just, that one stole goats, yam, and all that. And they're there. Some of them, they had no business. Like I said, some of them were framed up, and by the time you check all this things, so some of these people were given pardon. We brought out a list of some of them, and so I have not seen the entire list. Okay. So I'm not going to conclude based on
who else was on the list,
but on the celebrated ones that has been presented before.
Dariye in Nyame,
for me, is a no. Isn't it? Because what you have done is you have told us, particularly the upcoming ones, that corruption. You can do anything. Tomorrow somebody will come and forgive you. Now, don't forget also that there was so much that was put into this. EFCC came to say, it took us 11 years. It took us so billions of naira
to
prosecute
this person.
Get all this,
and then you're
all that
went
into what? That means that the tax money, the taxpayers' money went into that. So much logistics and all that went into that.
Let's not forget that Alan Mesia was also pardoned.
We have said that over time. Yes, Alan was also pardoned. Unfortunately,
if Alan Mesia would be pardoned,
yes.
What stops him from pardoning Dariye?
Tommy, you have a family, a relative, or let's even say, don't let me use the relative. You're a benefactor of someone's whatever. Yeah. And tomorrow you find yourself in such place, such seats.
Okay.
No matter what the person has done, you say, no, if not for this person, maybe I will not be here. No, you will look at it. We are just human, and the way we think, the way we reason, and we will say, please, and don't forget, it's people who they will come. But you remember, he did this, he did that, he did. What can you do to help? And that is what the governors has done. What they have done, because
one of
their colleagues, and they're not just going. Yes, and the opportunity has shown its face to see, who can we pardon? Okay, and they presented these people before.
Let me go down this route. Solani, Governor Nyesom Wike has been known, the River State Governor has been known to always be on the other side of the fence when it comes to issues like this. Yeah. He publicly condemned this pardon, and he said there is absolutely no need having anti-corruption agencies in the country if this is what we're going to do. pardon the people who were prosecuted and jailed for corruption.
For me,
He's one of the governors.
if you do the crime, you must be ready to serve the time. And just like he said earlier, that you have the Council of the 37 state governors, and these governors over time, over previous administrations, they've always shown that if you are this person is one of us, and the camaraderie is always there. Yeah, the camaraderie is always
irrespective
there.
of what party the person comes from.
Irrespective of where the person is from, it's always there, because it's like, oh, okay, if this happens to this person, what happens to me if it gets to be my turn? You've forgotten that there have been times that this same set of the governors forum, try to impose candidates, either presidential candidates or one thing or the other. So they've gotten so powerful. It's more like the way it's even looking now is like it was something that the presidency did to pacify them. And only if we have our records straight, going back to what he said earlier, that how much did it cost us to get this guy
prosecute
behind bars, the legal fees, the cost of the cost of transporting them, the cost of feeding. So it's more like it's a waste. It's all a waste. Wike is just a lone voice in yes, he's a lawyer, but his response
on Wike
is quite
on Wike, the statement, because I always like to separate issues from sentiment. On the statement he made, well, it's a good one.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't have the moral justification to make that statement. And how do I mean? You are one of the governors. You did attend the meeting. Not that you did not attend the meetings. Your deputy that was supposed to be representing you was on Zoom. Was doing that via Zoom, and she was quiet
all through.
So now, what moral justification? Because
please, let's go back to the fact that she was quiet all through.
yeah.
Why was she in the meeting if she was quiet?
Thank you. I do not know. To observe.
She's at the meeting to represent
the state.
So she's not even on observer status. She's part of the meeting. She's the participant.
She asked a question. She asked a question, and
Yeah.
I said maybe she was there to observe. And now, if you have done that, meaning that you slept on your right
On your right.
to speak. If Wike was at that meeting,
you will scream.
then go to the meeting and tell them no.
But
Let the world hear your voice that
This was
you
what-
were not. You didn't approve of that. You did not do that. Now it's like you have a meeting and we say whatever we do at this meeting is binding on whoever that's supposed to be at the meeting and refuse to show up. That was what he has done. So you have no moral justification to speak because you slept on your right
Exactly.
of audience. You were not there. Your deputy was on Zoom or whatever online
and kept
quiet all the way. No.
So silence means silence in that
So he's
state
just
means
being
content.
just politicizing.
He's playing to just playing to the gallery.
After all, he made that statement also while he was addressing his party faithfuls, while talking about his presidential bid. But of course, he's been criticized appropriately by.
I have
There's
my
been a-
reservation on Wike.
There's been
Wike that was insulting all the traditional rulers in the state. Meanwhile, he went to Kano and he was banned to another traditional ruler. So Wike is just a politician.
He's just swaying from side to side. Charity begins. Charity begins.
I just
from
Wike
home.
is for me. No,
As a matter of fact, the deputy governor, Dr. Ipalibo Banigo, switched off a camera throughout. She was at the Zoom meeting with a camera that was off. So they didn't even know
she was there.
whether she was present
Present
or she just joined and walked away.
You know, until recent, I think last month or thereabout, that it was on social media that do you know that Rivers State has a deputy governor?
As a
Yes, it was an opinion poll that do you know what's her name? And people went to,
Dr. Banigo.
And a picture came up.
She's a
And people
female.
started yes, and people
deputy
started,
governor.
so Rivers State, you know, in our subconscious, it's like
there's
you
a
mean
deputy governor.
they have a deputy governor, really true,
After
and
all, we know
all
our own
kinds
Lagos.
of stories started coming up. But a lot of people had never.
It's sad, and because they know the Nigerian people.
Yeah,
that's the reason why someone like Wike would say he wants to become president. There are people that should not.
All actors will come and play.
People that should not even be seen. People that should not even speak. People should not be. I mean, should not be giving audience.
He has said it over time that
it
is right to show interest in the president.
All of us, yes,
and
we all have right to do that. We don't want to dispute it. I'm only just picking the moral
justification
for some of the things all these leaders, so-called leaders, sorry, let me use that, so-called leaders, what they do, and they put it to our nose. You that, like you just said, a lot of people don't even know this guy has a deputy governor. And you want to bring that to federal level?
I think people, let's talk about this one. Front page story of the Nigerian Tribune talks about Afe Babalala speaking to the federal government, elaborating more on what he thinks should happen